There's a good chance one food on today's list is already sitting in your kitchen right now, and you had no idea it might be quietly working in your favor. Meanwhile, another food many seniors reach for out of habit could be doing the exact opposite, nudging blood sugar in a direction you don't want. The difference between the two isn't complicated, and it isn't about willpower. It's about knowing what to look for. And once you know it, grocery shopping starts to feel a lot less confusing. If mealtime has ever felt like a guessing game, wondering whether something is safe or risky, I want you to know that confusion is incredibly common, and it's not a sign that you're doing anything wrong. Nutrition advice can feel like it changes every year, and after 60, the stakes can feel higher, which makes the whole topic even more stressful than it needs to be. Here's the reassuring part. Managing blood sugar through food doesn't require perfection, expensive ingredients, or giving up everything you enjoy. It's about understanding a handful of simple principles and applying them to foods you probably already have access to. Today, we're going to walk through 10 everyday foods that may support steadier blood sugar, and more importantly, why they work. Let's start with why food choices matter so much in the first place. Think about Walter, a 71-year-old widower who's been cooking for himself for the first time in decades. Breakfast used to be whatever was quickest, often something sweet, something from a box, something that didn't require much thought. He wasn't ignoring his health. He simply didn't realize how much his morning choices were shaping the rest of his day. This is such a common story. Many seniors grew up in an era when nutrition advice looked completely different, when fat was the villain and sugar was barely questioned. So when a doctor mentions watching your carbohydrates, it can feel like a foreign language, especially without a clear starting point. The hidden problem isn't a lack of willingness to change. It's a lack of clarity about which foods genuinely help and which ones only seem helpful. Many products marketed as diabetic-friendly are packed with refined starches or added sugars in disguise. Meanwhile, some of the most supportive foods are the plainest, most overlooked items in the produce aisle. Let's break this down in a way that actually makes sense. Imagine your digestive system as a kitchen sink. Simple carbohydrates, like white bread or sugary snacks, are like turning the faucet on full blast. Sugar rushes into your bloodstream quickly, and your body has to scramble to manage it. Foods high in fiber, protein, or healthy fat act more like a slow, steady drip. They take longer to break down, which means sugar enters your bloodstream more gradually, giving your body time to keep up. That's really the secret behind most of the foods we're about to cover. Fiber slows digestion and is associated with steadier blood sugar responses. Protein helps you feel fuller longer and doesn't spike blood sugar the way refined carbohydrates can. Healthy fats, the kind found in nuts, olive oil, and fish, can also help slow digestion while supporting heart health, which matters even more since heart disease risk tends to rise alongside blood sugar concerns. Understanding this slow drip versus fast rush idea is really all you need to start making smarter choices at the grocery store without memorizing complicated nutrition labels. Here's where things get interesting because even well-intentioned choices can backfire. The first mistake is trusting packaging too much. Words like natural, low-fat, or even diabetic-friendly aren't regulated the way you'd hope, and they don't always reflect what's actually good for blood sugar. A low-fat product, for example, often contains added sugar to make up for the missing flavor. But here's what most people don't realize. The second mistake is skipping protein at breakfast. A slice of toast with jam might feel light and harmless, but without protein or fiber to slow things down, it can lead to a quick spike followed by an energy crash an hour later. And that's only part of the story. The third mistake is drinking calories without realizing it. Fruit juice, sweetened coffee drinks, and even some healthy smoothies can contain more sugar than a candy bar, without the fiber that whole fruit provides to help offset it. Finally, many seniors avoid entire food groups out of fear, cutting out all fruit, for instance, when in reality, whole fruits eaten in reasonable portions are associated with valuable fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants that can be part of a balanced approach. Let's get to the list. These are accessible, familiar, and easy to find at almost any grocery store. 1. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, and romaine are low in carbohydrates and high in fiber, making them a steady base for any meal. 2. Berries, strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries offer natural sweetness along with fiber, which may help offset their natural sugar content compared to fruit juice. 3. Beans and lentils, packed with fiber and plant-based protein. They can support slower, steadier digestion. 4. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, and mackerel provide omega-3 fatty acids, which are associated with heart health benefits that matter alongside blood sugar management. 5. Nuts, almonds, walnuts, and pistachios offer healthy fats and a satisfying crunch in modest portions. 6. Greek yogurt, a good source of protein, and choosing plain over flavored varieties helps avoid hidden added sugars. 7. Eggs, a versatile, protein-rich option that can anchor breakfast or lunch without spiking blood sugar. 8. Whole grains, oats, quinoa, and brown rice provide more fiber than their refined counterparts, supporting a slower release of energy. 9. Non-starchy vegetables, broccoli, peppers, and zucchini add volume and nutrients to meals without contributing significantly to carbohydrate load. 10. Avocado, rich in healthy monounsaturated fat and fiber, it can add satisfying texture to meals while supporting steadier digestion. Beyond the list itself, a few simple habits can help. Pairing carbohydrates with protein or fat, choosing whole fruit over juice, reading ingredient lists rather than trusting front-of-package claims, and staying consistent with meal timing to support steadier energy throughout the day. Regular movement, good sleep, and open communication with your healthcare provider about any dietary changes remain just as important as the food choices themselves. Here's the encouraging truth. You don't need to overhaul your entire pantry overnight. Choosing just 1 or 2 items from this list to incorporate into your week is a meaningful step forward. Small, sustainable changes tend to last far longer than dramatic ones that feel impossible to maintain. Food isn't the enemy here. Understanding is the missing piece, and you now have a clearer picture than you did a few minutes ago. Give yourself credit for showing up, for learning, and for caring enough about your health to keep asking questions. That curiosity is exactly what leads to better days ahead. If this list gave you a few ideas for your next grocery trip, I'd love for you to give this video a like. It helps this channel reach more people looking for trustworthy, practical health information. Subscribe if you'd like more videos like this one, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next topic. And I genuinely love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these foods do you already enjoy, and which one are you excited to try? Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.